Hello, I am Margaret Workman, and I am going to read to you another response that I had for one of the questions in my leadership class at Colorado State University. Here is my answer. After viewing the videos Time Management Fundamentals from LinkedIn Learning, I learned so much about how I can change some of the ways that I do manage my time to get more done during my day. I also remember situations in my past work history that really could have been different if I had had these tools of time management. Now, these situations are still present in my life and affect my daily ability to get tasks done at home. I also learned that I'm a very unorganized person in regard to keeping things organized and using a calendar. Right now, since I am not working, I don't have anything to put on a calendar, so I did not download it because then I would have had to keep track of something that I am not currently using. But in the future, I could see that it would be a very helpful tool of organizing my whole life, since I learned in the video that we only have 168 hours of allotted time to schedule appointments. I learned about time budgets and not to overdraw, because then that cuts into family time. Switch tasking is also something that I learned about, and how it can cause a person to take too much time in completing tasks. I did the switch tasking test to test which situations take me the longest. One of these tests was switch tasking from my computer to my kitchen, where I have other tasks. It took me over 3 minutes to complete that task for 10 letters and 10 numbers. I moved several items around in my house in order to have a more efficient workspace, and it really has lowered my switch tasking score. I have identified several situations or challenges where I lack time management, and I'm trying to be more efficient. Challenge 1, starting too many projects and then forgetting that I started a certain project. I then remember later that I started it, and I sometimes have to restart it. It leads to more work and frustration later and more switch tasking. Challenge 2, not having a plan or order for all the items that I would like to get done each day. I rely on memory instead of a list. Challenge 3, not planning ahead for each task, then starting the task, and then I remember that I have to have a certain item to complete the task, but I do not have that item because I did not plan ahead. That leads to more work and more switch tasking, because I have to stop and start again later. Challenge 4, letting some tasks take longer to complete because I lack the motivation to get these things done. Challenge 5, I am a global learner, and so I have to have the understanding of the whole task or project first before starting it. Then I can enter in all of the pieces of that project where they belong. I have to take that into consideration, because it does take me longer at the beginning of a task to set it up so that I can complete it in a way that makes sense to me. I used to work in an office of a delivery company, and I had to reorganize all of their files when I started, as well as organize all of the ways they completed deliveries and all of the ways that they organized their office regarding phone calls, emails, filing, talking to delivery drivers, etc. I also had to accomplish some accounting tasks, such as accounts payable and receivable. I also wrote manuals for them for all of their computer software programs so that we could have the directions. So I had to be very organized so I could keep up and explain to the owners what was going on with some of the businesses that the delivery company served, as well as informing them of how well other day-to-day tasks were being completed. I worked at 4 different banks as a bank teller. At one of those banks, I wrote notebooks outlining the processes that they used to complete all of their tasks, because there were so many. I worked at a department store in the back office, counting all of the money for all of the tills for each cashier, as well as ordering money for each of the tills, and then became a front-end supervisor as well. It was fast-paced, and we had to be organized. I worked as a bookkeeper for a while and was able to learn how to use QuickBooks. And I worked from home, and I had to be organized. In all of these jobs, I had to be organized, and I could have been helped by having access to the set of videos, Time Management Fundamentals by Crenshaw. I have been trying to address these issues that I have with time management by changing my workspaces. Since I have been listing items on eBay to sell and have been able to sell more than 100 items in 1 year, I have been wanting to add more listings. I have been able to get almost 500 listings in 1 year. Right now I have 492 listings, and my goal was to have 500 listings by the middle of the summer, so I will make that goal. I did not think that I could ever sell anything on eBay at all, so I felt that this was successful. But I have not been as organized as I would like to be with all of the extra things I have acquired. I really like to find ways to use the items that I have around here that I have saved or acquired to make art. I have made some of my art out of old cabinet doors, plastic bottles, old fabric, cardboard, and cans that I have saved. Art out of trash can be so fun to make. I have added polycarbonate panels on my back porch for a greenhouse, and I have several plants growing in there. I counted how many sunflower seedlings that I have. I remember being frustrated that I could not get any of the small packages of sunflowers to grow, so I ordered a 10-pound bag of them. I threw a bunch into a pot because I wasn't sure if they would grow since they are technically birdseed. They are growing really well. I thought I had around 25, but I have around 200. This is true. But usually when seedlings get to be a few inches high, many of them die for me, so I probably will not have that many sunflowers. I did the same for my tomato plants. I found out that many plants like to grow all together and not just 3 seeds to a pot per the directions. I have several pots of tomato seedlings, but I am sure they will thin themselves out soon. I also have the modified drip trellis system with seeds planted in my greenhouse. I built an extra wall in my yard with the polycarbonate panels parallel to my back porch, several feet away. I have it attached to a pallet deck that I placed there. I tried to put a roof on it, but the materials that I had were not suitable for that, so I had to take it down, but I kept the wall. This unexpectedly insulated my house and enabled me to heat my house with only 3 space heaters for the entire winter. I do live in New Mexico, and we have extremely mild winters here, but it still gets below freezing a few times during the night in the winter. I had to take the top part of the panels off because of a huge windstorm, but the bottom panels are still there, and I will put them back up for the next winter. I have other projects that I'm working on, and I desire to get them done. These videos, Time Management Fundamentals by Crenshaw, came just in time. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Bye.